Hey, what's up? Sunday evening, 11:05. Sort of bummed out my weekend a little bit, but that's okay, because something's going on. As the day goes on, I seem to be more and more and more very relaxed. They say if you get too relaxed, it's not good, right? I'm not too sure about the highs, but I know when it's too relaxed, you have to actually balance the stride. That's what I started to do. You can't get mad at anything. It's yesterday. Learn from it. Don't suck out on it. I have found so much stuff. This gets me a little nervous because I'm not even sure where to start. There's just so much. It's so late. So you know what I'm going to say? Two numbers that if you don't have these two numbers, you have nothing. 5 and 8. 5 is the heaven. 8 is what we stand and live on. Okay? 8 is an eternal number, which in the H, it shows you that when you draw with a simple pen mark, there are two C's and a bar. You must expand that. That is bigger. There's cables and bridges that come with creation in your mind. Well, the word 8, okay, is the only number that when you say 20, 30, 40, 50, well, not 20, because there is no 20. 30 would be third. 20 would be second. So you go 20, you add the TY. T and Y add up to 45. That's the foxhole. Every number you go up to 10, you keep creating the foxhole, and it only begins at 20. When you get to 5, it changes to 50. The V becomes an F. From 4, electronic life, to an F, the passage of man towards 6. Then you get 60, 70, 80. 8 or 80. 8 is the only one you add a Y to, and you don't add the 45, because it's at 49 and it's already split. It's the 8. It's not alone. It exists with two balls. Not only that, when you add the Y to 8, 8 is a 49 letter count. Okay? 49 plus 25 equals 74, the number of time and Christ. Also saying, I am in God, because backwards it says I am. I'll tell you the reason for it in a minute. Another thing to remember is we start at 20 and we end at 90. That's 110%. That's where it begins and that's where it ends. It starts at 2 and it ends at 9, okay, in that world. And then there's the creation world. But before I get to that, there was something that I left out, is that 8 is a 49 count, like I said before. And what comes for it is when you play with the 49, 4 times 9 is 36. That's creation. And the letter that comes out is the 18th letter. Plus 3 and 6 is 9, and it equals 27, which is the beta God, or the gates of beta, I call it. I call it a combination because I know it's going to change one day to something more precise. So right now I keep them together because we all know 1 goes to 2 and 2 injects from 7 and 8, and that's where it all comes from. 1 gives up its position to work from 2 and 9 and 7 and 3, 10, 10. Another thing is AM. A is the first letter. M is the 13th letter. First letter, 13th letter. 1. 1 and 3 is 4. PM, 16th letter. 1 and 6 is 7. Plus the M, 13th letter. 1 and 3 is 4. You have 74, the number of Christ again. In AM, you have number 5, which is the passage. AM is the passage. Ma, ma, meh, meh. Whatever this you want to go. This can be PM. And you can use this for so many things because in the middle of that month, that's basically what it is. Where can we go next with this? Um, there were two numbers that when they were added together, 5 and 8. 85 is the number of the speedy matrix. 85 in Montana. Now they're drumming up Roswell and over to Texas, 85 miles an hour. If you add up the word 5 and 8, 49 for the count of 8, and 42 for the count of 5, it equals the 91 spirit. 92 is at the birth, 91 is with the spirit. Well, I call it the birth of the secondary God. One is the first, one is the two. 1 and 2. Pretty good, eh? Where am I at now? The connections for certain things, why things are misunderstood is because there are 7 days in the week. But there's certain ways to put the 7 days. If you want to go straight forward, we got 7 days. But our days don't go right straight forward. They come around again. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you have to make it come around again. Sunday and Monday have to lock. And they lock in the night, so you don't see what happens in the sky, because they lock, they cross over, and there's a certain period of time that they might cross over in between. It could just be between the 1 and the 2. The other thing is, so 11 is connected to 12 on one side, and the 1 p.m. is connected to the 12 on the other side. So if we actually had to have a real rotation of the 3, okay, the 11 is 1 and 1 is 2. The 12 is 1 and 2 is 3. And the 1, well, it would be 1, so you'd have 2, 3, 1. So it would be turning around the actual numbers of 1, 2, 3, because that's what happens in this world. Another thing, the word 20, okay, it has a letter count, breaking it down to the single digit of 2, 5, 5, 5, 2, 7. That's all it has, 5, 2, and 7. Because that's what this world is all about, the 20 worlds. When you put the 20 with the 30, you get a total of 207. 2 and 3, W, creation, is 27. It's the Beta God, it's the gates. 2 and 7 makes the 9. Okay, I'm a little stuck for this. We're gonna go through and see what we have next. Then I brought up bowling. And what's funny about bowling is there are 3 crosses in each of 2 worlds, and in one world there is 4 crosses, okay, based on circuitry, okay. So if we would put, if we would put all the worlds together, it would be 4. There's 3 lines on one, all connecting to a center, in which is creating that center to be something. From the world on the left and the world on the right, it created that world in the center. So now, if we only had the 7th gate, okay, because you can't go any further, automatically you got the 7th gate, you're in the heaven and you're born. So all you can do is actually bowl 7 frames. So if you only bowled 7 frames, okay, because you couldn't bowl any more, your actual score, okay, would be 150, 160, would be 180, or 180 degrees high, or 1 and 8 is the stop sign, or your telephone, 1 in the center and 8 all around. Resh, the birth angel resident. Another thing is, if you would be bowling all the way up to the 9th frame, because that is your birth, okay, if you revert back and you stop at the 9th frame, your score now in the 7th frame would be 210, in which the reverse of your score would be in the 4th frame at 120. And the thing is, that's all that's really in the game. It's 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And that's basically it, because you need the 4 corners. The 5 is the passage, which is created by the 1. Okay, the 6 is just like the 4, except one is here in this world and the other one is doing whatever it does best. And the 7th is the gate, it's the portal, it's the God, it's everything. What I was going to say now is, wow. Let me take a look in this. I mean, everybody knows, even in bowling, I mean, I'm talking about bowling, and you get a split, they mark this, you know what I'm saying? You get a spare, so you get a triangle. You get an X, you get a triangle. You get all the parts of God. Another thing is, I'm just going to zoom over to something a little quick design I made. Whoa, it seemed to have gone away somewhere. I'm going to turn back to it. You don't mind it taking me a little bit of time. I'm rushing as fast. Oh, here it is. I had a little revelation the other day. What this is the starfish, okay? It fits just behind your head, on the back of your head, where that backbone sticks in. And you open it up and there's one of these things, okay? And that's your plug-in for the Matrix. And then you just close this up, and they sew it up, and that's why that patch of hair always seems to stay there. And that's why the head is so much more thicker there. You know, do you think they're going to let you know how you're made? Our flesh, it grows. Anyway, where was I next? I had something real interesting to say. What I was trying to work on next, if you would look at Monopoly, okay, you start at the corner, you go to the railroad. You go to the corner, you go to railroad. Go to the corner, you go to railroad. You go to the corner, you go to railroad. You go. Okay, next. It's just that I can't explain everything I did. There's just so much here. I did calculate how in the world do we get to the letter O being in the 15th position? Because when God began, in order to have balance of 10, right, the only way to draw balance is to draw a counterbalance. So what I believe the good Lord did is he went -5 to 0 to +5. Then he completed 1 omega 10. And 1 omega 10 took him all the way up to 15. And that's why the little O in our alphabet is the 15th letter. You see, because if you actually look at our number count, right? 10 omega. 20 omega. But 15 is the real omega. That's the added in omega into this world. You see, the 10 omega had to come in with a 1. Number 10, number 20, they got zeros on it. And then you put one big 0 around it, and you got the 0 and the double 0 in the European and American roulette. If you ever looked at this, the word nest, if you were French, it would say northeast, nord-est in initials. Everything is coded. 131344 equals 858. This is what would happen if I took the phone and flipped it upside down this way. Say 858. We're back to the matrix. If I bring the numbers in and count them in row, it would go 4. 1 and 3 is 4. 8, 4. 484. I didn't write that one down. Then it would go, excuse me, I'm sorry, I mixed it up. 3 and 1, red. 4, 5 in the center, and 4 at the bottom. 9 and 9, 5 by 4 is 20, 5 by 4 is 20, plus the 9 and 9 makes it 29, 29. Both the births. And if you go 2992, it makes 121, 11 by 11. May 1st, 3 out of 4 years, 121. 4 days later, it was May 5th, 125th day of the year. Has anybody ever looked at this? What does this say? This says ones. What do you got? I got a pair of ones. You know what's funny about poker? Is there's 3 pair with your 2 cards on the table and you can only take 2. I know I'm jumping around. I made a 2-way street. I opened up the tic-tac-toe a little bit, and it came out with, look, in between 2 streets, in between the 1 and 7 corners and the 3 and 9. This is how the other world doubled. See, he's going this way and this way, and on the other one, they're going this way and this way. 10, 90 omega, 40 omega. No, there's another couple of numbers I found in here. I wish I can. I wish I can really. I'm not really in the mood to. You know what? I will tell you one thing about this. Okay, two of these create a heart. Okay, but if you cut them in half, one creates a U, one creates a V. So if you bring it over here, you need two of these to create a heart. So you'd have two V's and two U's. So that would make the W and the W, with French and English for saying W. Each one of these would consist of being one eye. The same way they see that design on the animal, the same like the teardrop, the same like the yin-yang, very close to it, that's one eye. You need four of them because you need four eyes. Excuse me. At the end of it, you're going to be six eyes, but I don't think you actually use the eyes of the matrix, the diamond. That's just like an automatic carrier. So you end up with six eyes because the one who carries the information obviously gets to see everything. Another thing I was working on right now, World 1, World 2, World 3, World 4, World 5, World 6, etc. Maximum 6. Maximum 6, because a dice has 6. The other thing I wanted to say is this is the way it works. Okay? It's 6 days, 1 day, 3 days, 1 day. 6 days, 1 day, 3 days. Okay? I just worked on this in something else. And the reason it's like that is it has to fall on a certain day in order to connect. Not all days connect to transfer on the train. Let's say you're not at the train stop. We come to the train area on a Monday, and the train's not running from that station. So we have to go. So the train would be something like, we get to the synagogue on Saturday, and that'll be like in the corner. We can transfer trains to go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we can transfer trains on Wednesday, because Wednesday is the 4th day of the week, but it's actually the 3rd day of the week, and it's actually Wednesday is actually the 4th day of the week, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday from Saturday, so it's 4 and 4 Wednesday, making 8 days a week, and you must connect the days. All the days are connected to each other. That's why they make more days, more time. 5, 7, and 9, E, I, G. All you have to say is 8, and we're very close with that one. Basically, 3, 4, 3. 3 stars, 4 numbers. Telephone number, 3, 3, and then 4 numbers. Because this one here, okay, is what puts the totality and the value to these two. It's the final value. It's 4. Do I explain it okay? Not really. Oh, there's so much. You see, because I know the numbers. I just know it. I know the signs. I know the signs. I know the numbers. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson. 9 times 88 is 792. 9 times 9 times 9 is 729. Why? Because the 9 times the 88 is saying there's a birth in both each of the 8s. And the 999 are saying the same thing, spirit, angel, and man. Each one is connected to some sort of new birth, whether it's an electronical new birth. It's all electronical new birth. I mean, the only time we cut him out of our mother, look, he's born. God says the electricity light is on. We want to go to sleep at night. God looks at the light. He sees the light go on because we're going to bed. Where else am I at with this? Oh, yes. The word 4 has a 60 count, but the word 40, which completes the eggs, okay, has a 105 count. Now, that's the sign of the game. That's the poker game, the game of chance. 105. Fooling. Darts. Darts is another thing. circles and circles. The reason for the degrees on the clock, the regular clock, the PM clock, and the AM clock. This little thing over here is because it's all transferring energy in and out. These are all these U's, okay? They go right down in the center. This is number 5. And these are your pyramids. And this is one of the reasons the pyramids are built this way, is because it's how the connections go inside. If you showed me a pyramid, I wouldn't know the difference. I've never been there, but you never know. Anyways, I'm tired. I gave it my best. I'm going to give it a sucky rating, but I'm going to give it a little bit better than I think, only because I don't want to sleep and think about it all night. I'm going to give myself a 62. It's a nice number. Raphael, 7286. There definitely is someone out there with a computer that's definitely dated back thousands of years, because what I find is not possible that they all connect together, because all it is numbers connecting to another number for a different reason. And it's impossible that I found out 10 special definitions for numbers, while there's hundreds of millions and different kinds of definitions in this world, that I should find these 9. So the only reason that it can happen, if this is happening to me, it's either I'm really larried out, or it is working, and it's all been coded from the beginning of time, and hallelujah, there's a God. Don't stop being good, and stop going forward for the liberty of all man, all over the world, all over the world, all over the world, all over the world. Every man. And we must teach what it means to be liberty next to another man. You can't go screaming at your neighbor because he doesn't do what you want him to do. You got to forget about asking everybody to do things for you and just go out and do them by yourself. Raphael. Ruff the dog. And my second name is Mitch, so I would say McMitch Ruff, 7286. Thanks, Mr. Tackmans.